Right, let's go back to our first story in which we told you that Ghanaians will be expected to pay more for electricity. We need to delve a little bit deeper into this issue. We have Ishmael Ejekumhini, who is an energy analyst and also CEO of Kite. Good to speak to you, Ishmael.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. And you?
Well, we have been greeted by a surprise news that we are expected to pay more for electricity. How do you take this news?
Okay. Good evening to your viewers and your listeners. It was always going to come to that. The truth of the matter is that the more we continue to have these thermal additions to the generation mix and a lower composition of the hydro, then prices something will have to happen. So, I know it was going to happen, but for it to happen when you don't have the power, it's difficult to take. But the truth of the matter is that prices will never stay the same, and it's going to even be more if this emergency plans are going to come in because they are going to be expensive.
So how realistic would the adjustment be at this moment?
PRC will need to show us what is going into their pricing, but if you consider the fact that let me say this very quickly, because you see why we've been able to keep tariffs a bit low for a period of time is the contribution of hydro to the generation mix. Because Akosomo is an old plant, we could generate power as low as 3 cents per kilowatt hour. But some of the thermal plants are doing between 22 cents per kilowatt hour. So why we're able to pay something like 15 cents as average end user tariff is that they put all of them in one basket, and then they're able to use averages to determine how much we pay. Now, of course, we know we're doing only maximum 4 of them, and a lot of the rest are all thermal. We know it's only a picking plant. So in terms of how much, it will depend on how the changes in the relative contribution of thermal to hydro. Now I think hydro is slightly more than the thermal is more than the hydro because Akosomo is not doing too well at the moment. So in terms of how realistic it is, purely from a consumer point of view, it's not realistic. But from the generator's point of view, Abu, let me also say this. Tariffs are also quoted in pesos. And since the last increment, you just compare it to the rate at which the dollar has depreciated. And sometimes these adjustments will only have to close the real currency depreciation. So I don't know, but obviously the PRC should be able to tell us the basis of whatever increment they're going to grant to the utilities. But the way I see the thermal becoming more dominant, we may not be able to run away from parity.
Right. Ishmael, finally, do you think that we have the infrastructure to improve quality service after we are going to agree or will be forced to agree to pay more for electricity?
The truth of the matter, and that's something that PRC is not telling us. You see, the tariff they approved to the utilities, it wouldn't allow them, even though as customers we are complaining, if you ask them critically, what they are approving is just to cover operations. It doesn't allow them to invest. Go check with them. They don't give them enough for them to invest. That's why ECG is always coming back to the government. BRA is coming back to the government for the government to give them money to go and buy crude. ECG needs money to buy transformers. So that's the problem. So long as the macroeconomy is not right, no matter the tariff that is given to them, it will be eaten up by the depreciation of the city. And that's the truth. It's just like you doing business and buying products at maybe 2 cedis. You use an exchange rate. By the time you need to go and buy the dollar, it's almost double. And that's exactly the same situation. Because crude oil is bought in hard currency, transformers are bought in hard currency. The problem is that they tell us that we're giving them this tariff and we expect service quality to improve. When we know that service quality is not going to improve because the tariff doesn't allow them to invest because it's just to cover operations.
Right. Ishmael Ejekumhini, giving us, well, the hypothesis of why we should pay more for electricity as, is being expected by the Electricity Company of Ghana. They're telling us that electricity rates will go high.